The little girl stood on the edge of the busy street, her feet barely fitting into worn-out sandals that had once belonged to someone else. Cars rushed past her like they didn't see her at all, but she had learned long ago that invisibility was safer than being noticed. Her name was Lily, and she was only 6 years old, yet life had already taught her lessons that many adults never survived. In her small trembling hand, she held a damp, gray cloth. Her other hand reached toward a sleek black luxury car that had just stopped near the sidewalk. The car gleamed like a mirror, untouched, expensive, a world away from hers. Lily swallowed hard, gathered her courage, and gently wiped a small corner of the door. She didn't want to scratch it. She never did. She had done this before. She leaned closer and softly asked, her voice almost lost in the noise of the city, "Mister, can I wash your car for some coins?" Inside the car, the man behind the wheel barely noticed her at first. He was absorbed in his phone, irritated by yet another board meeting that had gone wrong. His name was Daniel Cross, one of the youngest CEOs in the city, a man who controlled millions with a single signature. To him, the world was numbers, deadlines, and power. Children begging on the street were just part of the background noise of success. He was about to wave her away when something made him pause. He glanced outside, annoyed at first, ready to tell her to leave. But when he saw her face, something tightened in his chest. She wasn't smiling. She wasn't pushing. She wasn't dramatic. She just looked tired. Tired in a way no child ever should. Her small arm struggled to reach the window as she wiped carefully, like the car mattered more than she did. Daniel sighed and opened the door slightly. "Go away, kid," he said, not harshly, but cold enough. Lily flinched, immediately stepping back. "I'm sorry," she whispered quickly. "I won't touch it anymore." She turned to leave, panic in her eyes, afraid she had done something wrong. That was when Daniel noticed it. On her wrist. A bracelet. Small, colorful beads tied together with a thin, worn string. Red. Blue. Yellow. Green. His breath caught. His hand froze on the door handle. The bracelet was simple. Cheap. Handmade. And impossible. Because Daniel Cross had not seen that bracelet in 20 years. His heart began to race as memories he had buried deep clawed their way back to the surface. Rain. Sirens. A hospital hallway. A woman crying. A promise he never got to keep. "Wait," he said sharply, stepping out of the car. Lily stopped instantly, fear flashing across her face. "I'm sorry, sir," she said again, her voice shaking. "I didn't mean, where did you get that bracelet?" Daniel interrupted, his voice no longer cold but tight, almost desperate. Lily looked down at her wrist instinctively and then back up at him. "My mama made it," she said quietly. "She said it was special." Daniel felt the ground tilt beneath him. "What's your mother's name?" he asked, barely breathing. Lily hesitated. She had been warned not to talk to strangers. But something in his eyes wasn't anger. It was fear. "Her name is Anna," Lily said. "Anna Miller." Daniel staggered back as if struck. The city noise faded. Anna. The name echoed in his head like a ghost. Anna was the woman he had loved before money, before success, before ambition had swallowed him whole. The woman he had lost when he chose his career over his heart. The woman who disappeared from his life the night everything went wrong. His voice broke. Does your mother know where she is right now?" Lily nodded. "She's sick," she said softly. "She's resting. I'm trying to get coins for her medicine." Daniel dropped to one knee in front of her, ignoring the stares of people passing by. "How old are you?" he asked. 6, Lily replied. Daniel's hands began to tremble. The timing fit. The bracelet fit. The eyes fit. Those eyes, he had seen them before in a mirror. Tears filled his own as the truth hit him like a storm. "Lily," he whispered. "Do you know who your father is?" Lily shook her head. "Mama said he was someone who didn't know about me." That sentence shattered him completely. Daniel reached into his pocket, pulling out his wallet with shaking fingers. He took out every bill inside and gently placed it in Lily's hand. This is too much, Lily said quickly, panic rising again. I only need a little. Daniel closed her fingers around the money. You won't ever need to wash cars again, he said hoarsely. Not ever. Lily didn't understand. She just knew this man was crying, and grown men weren't supposed to cry. Please, Daniel said, standing up. Take me to your mother. Minutes later, his luxury car drove through streets it had never belonged in, stopping in front of a crumbling apartment building. The paint peeled. The windows were cracked. Daniel felt ashamed that he had never known this life existed just miles away from his glass office tower. Lily led him upstairs, holding his hand now without fear. Inside the tiny apartment, the air smelled of medicine and damp walls. On a thin mattress lay Anna. Pale. Weak. But still beautiful. When she opened her eyes and saw Daniel standing there, she thought she was dreaming. Daniel, she whispered. He dropped to his knees beside her. I'm here, he said, tears falling freely now. I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know. Anna looked at Lily and then back at him. She's yours, she said quietly. I never told you because I thought you chose your world over us. Daniel shook his head. I was a fool, he said. But I'm here now. And I'm not leaving. From that day on, everything changed. Lily never stood on the street again. Anna received the best medical care. And Daniel, the powerful CEO, learned that the greatest wealth he had ever ignored was standing right in front of him all along. The bracelet remained on Lily's wrist, not as a symbol of poverty anymore, but as a reminder that sometimes the smallest details carry the biggest truths. If this story touched your heart, remember to subscribe to the channel, because stories like this remind us that kindness, love, and second chances still exist in a world that often forgets them.